Hi everyone, welcome to the presentation. Today we will be talking about sleep, an essential biological function that is critical to our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Today I hope I'm able to impart knowledge that I have gained over the past few months in Dement's Sleep and Dreams class. So without further ado, let's jump in. Sleep science and sleep medicine is a complex field, so today we will break it down and talk about 5 key categories: basics of sleep, sleep cycle and rhythm, sleep disorders, sleep disorder treatments, and ways to improve sleep. Now, sleep is an important part of your daily routine. You actually spend approximately 1/3 of your life doing it. And sleep is characterized by 2 things: perceptual disengagement from the environment and reversibility, and low physical activity levels and reduced sensory awareness. Now, sleep is an active state of unconsciousness produced by the body where the brain is in a relative state of rest and is reactive primarily to internal stimulus. Now, sleep is vital to our health and well-being, as is food and water. It's essential to our survival, and it affects us physically, emotionally, and mentally. Without sleep, we can't even form or maintain the pathways in our brain that let us learn, create new memories, and therefore it can be hard to concentrate and respond quickly. Now, there are two phases of sleep: REM and non-REM. REM, rapid eye movement sleep, also known as dream sleep, is where the eyes move rapidly from side to side behind closed eyelids. It's light sleep, but the brain is busy. We're consolidating memories, we're processing emotions, we're relieving stress, our muscles are paralyzed, and this is where dreams and nightmares occur. Now, in non-REM sleep, non-rapid eye movement sleep, also known as non-dream sleep, is comprised of 4 stages. You're drowsy, you can easily be woken. Then you move into fairly light sleep where your body temperature decreases, you can't be easily awoken. Then you go into deep sleep, then you're in deep sleep. And when you're in deep sleep, there's no eye movement or muscle activity, and it's really hard to wake you. A human sleep cycle is a rhythmic alteration between REM and non-REM sleep, and a full night typically consists of 4 to 6 of these cycles. Now, at a high level, sleep allows the body to do 3 things: discharge and regulate emotions, where muscle paralysis allows the body to experience emotions without acting and therefore keeping the body safe, and it also works to regulate our emotions and emotional responses during the day. 2, it allows our brain to recharge and regroup after a hard day of learning by helping replenish our brain cells and build up the energy reservoir for the next day. 3, sleep consolidates and enhances new memories and allows the brain to forget the random unimportant things of the day and make room for new learning the next day. Now, circadian rhythm, which you might have heard of, is our internal body clock and is controlled by a biological clock located in the brain at the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which you see here on your screen. And a key function of this clock is responding to light cues, which increases production of the hormone melatonin, which you might have heard of, at night, and the body switches it off when it senses light in the morning or during the day. Our circadian rhythm directs a wide variety of functions, from daily fluctuations in wakefulness, to body temperature, to metabolism, and the release of hormones. And our body's biological clock is based on a roughly 24-hour-a-day schedule, which synchronizes with environmental cues, including light, temperature, time of day. But it's worth noting that it continues even in the absence of these cues, and that's how important sleep is. Now, sleep deprivation affects everybody, and it affects 47 million American adults, almost a quarter of the adult population. Now, while every individual is different in regard to the amount of sleep they need to function, sleep is essential for everybody. If you are sleep deprived, you're fatigued during the day, you have a lack of energy, your mood may fluctuate, you may have social problems with coworkers, family, and friends, you may be unable to focus and concentrate, and dangerous of them all is you may fall asleep at the wheel. Now, sleep deprivation and excess sleep deprivation can lead to what is called sleep debt. When you don't get enough sleep, we accumulate sleep debt, which you can think of similar to a financial debt. It's hard to pay back when it's large. So the amount of sleep you should be getting minus the amount of sleep you actually get is your sleep debt. And the most common death among youth is car accidents. 1/5 or 20% of all car accidents can be traced back to drowsiness. And this is why our class motto is drowsiness is a red alert, because it's a red flag. It's a signal that your body is yearning for adequate sleep so that it can function properly. Now, sleep is also driven by the amount of time that we've been awake, and factors that influence your sleep could be medical conditions, stress, sleep environment, medications, what you eat or drink. But most commonly, it's these three things: jet lag, shift work, and light exposure. In the case of jet lag, when you fly from time zone to time zone, there's a mismatch between your internal body clock and the actual clock. If you're a night shift worker, you may have trouble falling asleep when you go to bed and trouble staying awake at work because your natural circadian rhythm is disrupted. Your sleep-wake cycle is misaligned. But perhaps the greatest influence is light exposure, because we have specialized cells in the retinas of our eyes that process light and tell the brain whether it's day or night, which can advance or delay our sleep and wake cycle. And the exposure to light can make it either difficult to fall asleep or difficult to go back to sleep when awoken. Now, these are three common sleep disorders. Obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, is the absence of airflow through the nose and mouth despite efforts to breathe. This is where your body is really prioritizing sleeping over breathing. And the biggest symptom is loud snoring and excessive fatigue. We have to come to understand that snoring isn't normal. Insomnia is where you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep that results in some form of daytime impairment. It's a symptom that can become a syndrome. You may be irritable. You may not be feeling well after your full night's sleep. You may be tired, depressed, anxious. You may have difficulty falling asleep at night. And restless leg syndrome, RLS, is a condition where you have uncontrollable urge to move your legs, usually because of uncomfortable sensations. And you know you have RLS when you have an urge to move your legs when lying down or going to bed. Now, treatments for sleep disorders can include the CPAP machine for those with sleep apnea. This helps individuals sleep better by assisting with breathing and oxygen levels during sleep. You can also use cognitive behavioral therapy, which is made up of stimulus control, which is targeting the negative association between the bed and sleep, sleep restriction, which is restricting time in bed to match the subjective total sleep time, paradoxical intention, which aims to eliminate performance anxiety, and scheduled thinking time works to help control one's racing thoughts. You can also use light therapy to get your circadian rhythm back intact. You can use self-correction, and if you do need medication or think you need medication, please talk to your doctor or visit a sleep specialist to receive prescription medication. Now, people may view sleep as a waste of time, but if we skip our sleep, we're skipping out on an essential critical biological function. It's the foundation and underlying structure that we rely on for everything we do, and it allows our minds and bodies to recharge. Both sleep quality and quantity affects our daily lives far more than we can imagine, and it's crucial and it's essential for biological processes and for us to function properly. And in the long run, adequate sleep can decrease your risk for health-related diseases. Now, we all want to sleep like this girl on the screen here, and to do that, we need to have good sleep hygiene. Let's rule out medical causes for possible sleep problems. Let's stick to a regular schedule. Let's get regular exercise. Let's be smart about what we eat and drink. Let's not do heavy meals or drinking lots of fluids before we go to bed. Let's be aware of how much caffeine, alcohol, and sugary foods we're eating and at what time of day. We're all in a stressful environment, but let's learn how to manage the stress in a productive way. Let's improve our sleep environment, keeping our bedrooms dark, quiet, and cool, and reserving the bed really just for sleeping. Let's develop an unwinding, relaxing bedtime routine. And most importantly, let's postpone worrying. If we wake up in the middle of the night feeling anxious, let's make a brief note of it on paper and let's postpone worrying about it until the next day. Because if we get adequate sleep, the problems will be easier to resolve. Now, thank you all for attending the presentation today. I hope I was able to impart critical knowledge and provide you insight as to the importance of sleep and why it's a critical function. I hope you can use this information not only to educate yourself, but to educate those in your community and help your family, friends, and coworkers. Thank you.